Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing the New York Times by the book tag. This tag was created by the lovely Marie Berg. I'll have a link to her channel down below, and she actually tagged me in that video, so I've been meaning to get to this video and I just haven't had the time, and it's kind of blown up. I've seen a lot of videos from you guys and I'm really loving seeing everybody's answers, and I just love the tag and I love the questions. I think they're great questions, so I'm just going to get right into it. There are 10 questions in this tag, and I have my laptop in front of me, so you'll see me kind of looking down and up as I read these questions. The first question is, what book is on your nightstand now? And I have a mess on my nightstand right now. I have the books that I'm currently reading, which are Gone with the Wind and The God of Small Things. So those are these two. I've been reading these the last couple of days. I also have a comic book that I finished last night, Fatale Volume 1, by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, and I recently finished this, like I said, last night and rated it. I think I gave it 2 stars. And then I also have all of the books that I'm going to be reading for Genreathon, which I'll have a link down to my TBR video down below. And then I also have the 2 additional books that I got from the library. So right now my nightstand is kind of a mess, but I wouldn't have it any other way. It's kind of exciting to see all of the books that I'm going to be getting to soon. The second question here is, what was the last truly great book that you read? And that for me has to be East of Eden by John Steinbeck. I'm still thinking about it. I haven't really found anything else that has captivated me as much since that book. And I'm kind of searching for that now. So hopefully I can find a really great book sometime soon, because yeah, I would love to read great literature like that and just stay consistent. So that was the last truly great book that I read. Number 3 is, if you could meet any writer, dead or alive, who would it be and what would you want to know? And I think I answered this question in a different tag, and I think my answer was Tolkien, and I would love to meet him, but I'm trying to think of a different author to include in this tag video. And I don't know, I would love to meet Charlotte Bronte and talk about Jane Eyre and what inspired her to write such a feminist piece of literature at that time, because at that time what she wrote was kind of feminist and, you know, wouldn't be considered really feminism right now in our modern time, but back then I totally think that she really went there. I would also love to meet Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Americana was one of the best books that I read last year, and Half of a Yellow Sun was just as good, and those are 2 books that I highly recommend, and I would love to just have a chat with her over coffee or tea or something, whatever she wants, and just talk. And I just find her so eloquent and beautiful and just a great role model and a fantastic writer. I'm obsessed with her. I would love to meet her. Number 4 is, what books might we be surprised to find on your shelves? I don't think there's anything on my shelves that would really surprise anybody. There is one book that kind of jumped out at me, because I think anybody would be curious about this book, and it's a concise biography of Adolf Hitler. And I got this book a few years ago when I had this phase where I wanted to read anything and everything about the Holocaust. This was previously published as the Hitler Fact Book. So that's pretty much what this is. It's just a book about random facts, unknown facts about Hitler, and I read it twice, and I really enjoyed it. So I think this book might give someone pause if they were looking at my shelves. Number 5, how do you organize your personal library? I don't. Right now, I'm just trying to organize it in a way that I can fit as many books as possible. Ideally, in the future, I would have a room full of shelves, and I'd be able to organize them by genre and maybe alphabetically. So hopefully those are goals that I have. Number 6, what book have you always meant to read and haven't gotten around to yet? Anything you feel embarrassed never to have read? There are tons of books that I've been wanting to get to, or books that have just been on my list that I just know I need to read, and those are books like, you know, Charles Dickens. I've yet to read something by him. I've yet to read something by Dostoevsky or Tolstoy. I haven't read Dante's Inferno. Those are just very important pieces of literature that I feel like must be read. I really want to read Dante's Inferno, and I really want to see if I can squeeze in Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky. That's the goal. We'll see how I do. Number 7, disappointing, overrated, just not good. What book did you feel you were supposed to like but didn't? And do you remember the last book you put down without finishing? I do remember the last book that I put down without finishing, because I was really sad about it, and that was The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. Since I read East of Eden, I knew that I really wanted to try another Steinbeck, and this was like the second on the list of his best books, and so I couldn't finish it. It was not for me. But I'm not giving up on Steinbeck. I definitely want to read more by him. And a book that I find overrated, I recently did a video on A Little Life and why I DNF'd it, and I can honestly say I think that book is really overrated. But those are the two that come to mind for that question. And number 8, what kinds of stories are you drawn to? Any you stay clear of? I really thought about this question and what kind of answer I can say that would really cover kind of all the bases. And I think the best answer is I'm drawn to stories with depth, and I stay clear away from stories that lack depth. And that's something that I found. It doesn't matter how a book is written, who writes it, how long it is, what writing style it's in. If it doesn't have depth, I'm not going to be into it. It's not going to be as good of a book for me, and it's not going to be memorable. And for me, all of the best books that I read are always memorable and just experience reading them. So that is going to be my answer for that one. And number 9, if you could require the president to read one book, what would it be? I looked on my shelves and I thought about our president, which right now is President Obama, and he's very well read, so I'm pretty sure he's already read this, but I think every president should read this book. And it's 1984 by George Orwell. And if you've read this book, you know why I would recommend it. But I also think that it's just one of those books that everybody should read. And the last question is, what do you plan to read next? Well, I plan to read all of the books on my Genreathon TBR. I really hope that I get to them. I also want to make sure that I get to my Booktuber Recommends Project book and my Latin Authors Project book. So I have one of those on hold at the library, and then the other one I already got from the library. So hopefully I can get to those after Genreathon. And I also really want to finish Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. Yesterday I tried to really focus on it and read maybe 2-3 hours, just solid reading, trying to make a dent in it. So I hope to be doing that maybe 1 or 2 times in this month. And my goal is to have that book done by the end of this month, but I don't know. I'm gonna try, but it's 920 pages, I think, so it's taking me a while, but I'm enjoying it. So those are the books that I have coming up next on my TBR. And that's it for the New York Times by the book tag. Those are 10 great questions. Thank you so much to Marie for tagging me. I'm not going to tag anybody because, like I've said, this tag video has blown up around booktube, but if you haven't had a chance to see any of those videos or be tagged, then consider yourself tagged. And I look forward to watching all of your videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.